But I think for my brother, this is something he's been waiting for, and he's probably spent more time thinking about it.
Prince William, heir to the throne, has left everyone in shock as he reportedly collapsed after hearing the king's last request from Princess Anne. This unexpected response to the king's letter has set the media on fire, with many wondering what the king might have told Princess Anne to pass on to Prince William. While there have been different speculations about what the message may have contained, tension is mounting inside Buckingham Palace, and everyone is watching and wondering what Prince William's next move will be. Curious about the king's last request? Join us as we reveal all about it. William's collapses. After getting King Charles's message. King Charles, age 75, has been facing health challenges over the past few months due to his age. This has led him to make some critical changes within the monarchy. While Prince William was busy spending time with his family, King Charles made an unexpected last-minute final request written in a handwritten note, specifically for William. But what was written in this note for Prince William's? Keep watching to find out. After King Charles finished writing the message, he asked for Princess Anne, his beloved and most trusted sister who had stood by his side all these years. Princess Anne took the king's final request and went to Prince William's house immediately. Williams was surprised to see Anne, and she handed him the note. Williams wasted no time opening it, but as he read the message, he was left in total shock. He reportedly collapsed, overcome by emotion, and too speechless to respond. The few staff present were shocked by William's reaction, and it immediately sparked various speculations on what the king's last request could have contained. An insider who was present during the collapse says William's reaction revealed everything as he was visibly shaken and collapsed into a chair as the note slipped from his trembling hand. Princess Anne quickly picked up the note and tucked it away safely as she rushed to help William regain his composure. William spent the rest of the afternoon with Princess Anne. Their conversation reportedly lasted over 2 hours before she quietly left the residence. All these indicated that both Anne and Williams were stunned by King Charles's requests, and the note contained something completely unexpected. But what could King Charles have written in the note that he couldn't tell Williams over the phone?
Yeah, does that work for you? Not right now, no, apparently not right now.
Could it be that it involved a change in the future line of succession? Or perhaps it had something to do with Queen Camilla? While little has been said publicly about William's emotional state since the incident, it's clear that this is just the beginning of a much bigger story unfolding behind palace walls. So what exactly did King Charles say to Prince William? Stick around to find out. Royal watchers, insiders, and millions across the globe are curious about what the contents of the king's final request were. Though Buckingham Palace has remained silent, several compelling speculations have emerged on the contents of the king's final request, each of which could reshape the monarchy forever. The most talked about speculation among royal watchers is that King Charles expressed a deep desire for unity between his sons and allegedly asked William to forgive Prince Harry and find a way to bring him back into the royal fold. It's no secret that William and Harry have been estranged for years. Since 2016, tension began brewing, especially after Harry began dating Meghan Markle. William didn't fully support the way the relationship was progressing and advised Harry to take things slowly. However, Harry didn't listen. This made William involve their late mother's brother, Charles Spencer. William shared his concerns and asked Charles Spencer to speak to Harry directly. This decision angered Harry deeply. He felt betrayed by his brother's interference, believing William didn't support his relationship and was trying to turn the family against Meghan. This moment marked the start of a rift between the brothers. While Harry went on to marry Meghan, things didn't cool down between the brothers. They continued to have internal issues, which worsened when Harry decided to step down from his royal duties in 2020. This decision wasn't supported by Prince William, though he was aware of some of the issues Harry and his wife were facing, especially the public backlash and media criticism. Williams never expected his brother to act so abruptly or go on national television for an interview with Oprah, where they shared their reasons for leaving the palace and spoke down on the royal family. During the Oprah interview, Meghan and Harry made the royal family appear heartless.
I needed to do this for my family. This is not a surprise to anybody. It's really sad that it's got to this point.
As Harry stated that even though the royal family was aware of the harsh tabloid stories about him and Meghan, they did nothing to correct the damaging narrative. Meghan also described her time in the royal family as the worst period of her life. These were damaging revelations painting the royal family as bad people. But that's not all. After the Sussexes left the UK, and following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Harry became involved in several legal battles against the king's ministers. He sued them in a bid to regain his royal security. In 2020, during Harry and Meghan's departures from the royal family, it was revealed that the royal family had decided not to provide security for their son, Archie, while they were in the UK. Harry repeatedly expressed frustration over this, stating he wasn't sure his children would ever feel connected to his homeland due to the lack of safety assurances. He added that the only time he was offered protection was when he was personally invited by the king to visit the UK. Reports revealed that Harry's legal fight over royal protection made it nearly impossible for the king to reach out to him or express any opinions on the matter, as anything said could potentially be used in court by Harry's legal team. This created a significant emotional and physical distance between the king and his son. Though Harry has attempted to repair the fractured relationship, both King Charles and William have reportedly ignored his calls and messages. After all, it was Harry who chose to step away, so he had to live with the consequences of that decision. However, it is likely that Charles, now in fragile health, doesn't want to leave this world without seeing his sons reconciled. He reportedly hopes for peace between them. Royal experts suggest that the letter may have read, "I have one final request from you, William. Let my sons walk side by side again." The royal family needs every member to stand united, forgive. This alleged request for William to allow his brother back into the royal family felt like a deep emotional blow. Since Harry's departure, William has carried most of the royal duties alone, without the support of a brother by his side. While their relationship wasn't perfect, William valued Harry's presence. He felt stronger knowing his family was close. It was something Princess Diana would have wanted, her boys united, supporting each other and facing challenges together. William viewed Harry's decision to leave as a betrayal. Harry could have stayed and endured the hardship, knowing William would soon be king and that they could have shared the burden. Instead, Harry walked away, leaving William to handle royal pressures alone. But now the question is, was William willing to forgive, forget, and reintegrate his brother into the royal family as a senior royal? Wasn't this the same structure that Harry had publicly criticized and denounced? This decision now felt like a heavy responsibility, one that placed William's reign and public image in a difficult position. Perhaps it was the emotional weight of the request, the pressure, and the personal conflict that caused William to collapse. He simply wasn't ready for such a monumental decision. But there's still more to uncover on the king's last request. More theories on the king's last request. The king's last request, delivered through Princess Anne, remains a mystery that continues to unfold. Another prevailing speculation on the content of the king's last request is that King Charles wanted Camilla to remain queen even after his death. In 2023, Camilla's title was changed from Queen Consort to simply Queen. The public was surprised by this new development, especially since Queen Elizabeth II had wished during her 70th birthday that Camilla be known as Queen Consort, not Queen, once Charles ascended the throne. Camilla's new title differed from the title of Prince Philip, who remained Prince Consort throughout Queen Elizabeth's reign. However, when Charles ascended the throne, he removed the consort label, and Camilla began to carry herself as queen in full authority. Many opposed this idea, including Princess Anne, who said Camilla would never be known as queen. However, nothing was done to revoke this title as King Charles's decision was final. This title change reportedly gave Camilla a sense of equality with Charles and opened up the possibility that she could remain queen even after his death. It was also reported that Camilla enjoyed the power and presence of being queen and was determined to hold on to the reins for as long as possible. Notably, Camilla's rise in influence and ambition didn't come as a surprise. Many had watched her rise from being labeled a mistress and homewrecker to becoming one of the most influential women in the monarchy. The past controversies that surrounded her name were slowly buried beneath her consistent royal engagements and her growing approval among royal followers. Even Princess Anne, once one of her most critical skeptics, had reportedly accepted her as queen. In 2024, during King Charles's health scare, it was reported that Camilla had opposed the king's decision to disclose his illness to the public. Insiders speculated she did this because she wanted to continue managing affairs behind the scenes. She wanted to be in control. But one person had always stood in her way: Prince William. Prince William and Camilla have never been close. William has always remembered how his stepmother contributed to the collapse of his parents' marriage, while he and Harry were against their father marrying Camilla. Camilla still rose to prominence in the royal family and is now regarded as one of the top 10 most popular royals. But insiders say Camilla is not satisfied with what would happen when William takes the throne. Technically, Camilla would become Queen Dowager when William ascends the throne. However, there have been persistent rumors that once William becomes king, Camilla will be sidelined completely. She would be given no real role or relevance in the royal family, even as Queen Dowager. Though William had warmed up to Camilla, some believe he would still strip off her position once he became king. What if the king's letter was asking William to honor Camilla and not cast her aside, but rather allow her to remain beside him in a supportive role until her final days? The letter could have read, "My last request, son, is that you don't push Camilla into the background. Include her in your plans when you reign. Promise me that she will remain by your side and not behind you." Royal experts and insiders disclosed that the expression on William's face suggested the letter had something to do with Camilla. This could explain William's emotional breakdown, as his father was asking him to truly forgive his stepmother and give her a meaningful role in royal affairs even after he dies. But could that be possible? There have been subtle signs that William might not agree with his father's wishes. In a recent interview, William discussed his vision for the monarchy, saying he wanted to lead with the smaller R in royal, not the bigger R of the royal family. By smaller royal, William meant focusing on younger, more relatable royals, such as Princess Catherine and Duchess Sophie, and less on the older generation like Queen Camilla. Camilla, however, was unimpressed with William's plans for the monarchy. She became furious and allegedly confronted him. She was not willing to let her royal duties be passed off to younger royals. This wasn't the first time William hinted at his intention to reduce Camilla's role once he became king. His plans threatened her position and would likely render her irrelevant in the monarchy. Camilla reportedly urged King Charles not to approve of William's modern approach. William, however, argued that the younger royals were better suited to connect with the current generation and reflect modern values, unlike Camilla, who was seen as part of the traditional monarchy. This led to even more tension in the royal household. As King Charles's health continued to decline, he spent more time within the palace walls, while Prince William took on more duties and responsibilities as future heir. Still, Camilla made every effort to stay visible in her role as queen. She wasn't ready to take a step back or embrace a quieter position. Instead, she remained firmly committed to holding on to her responsibilities and her place in the spotlight. But what if the contents of the message weren't a request, but a confession? There have long been speculations surrounding King Charles hiding documents following Princess Diana's death. These hidden documents include letters, journals, and personal writings she had kept, but all these were quietly locked away, never made public. Royal experts have suggested that the king might have decided to confess certain things to William as his illness worsened, and he feared he might not survive. He may have chosen to write to William directly, instead of seeing him physically, as he was probably ashamed or scared of anyone overhearing their conversations. After all, the walls of Buckingham Palace are said to have ears and watchers who are always eavesdropping. Could it be that the king wrote, "It's time you knew the truth about your mother"? A message like that could have shaken William so deeply that he collapsed. A powerful revelation like this would not only change him, but might also affect royal history as we know it. But what truth would Charles want to tell his son about Diana? Perhaps her final wishes for her sons, hidden letters that were never seen by the public, or maybe Charles's version of the true account of what happened between him and Diana. While Diana had shared her side of the story with the world during her famous interviews, maybe Charles was willing to say his truth now. Although there have been many speculations about what the king's final message might be, the public, insiders, and royal watchers are all holding their breath, waiting for just a hint, especially from Prince William. However, body language readers have noticed a change in William's ever since receiving his father's final request. William has allegedly been more calmer and reserved. His facial expressions seem heavier and distant, as seen during the last public engagement he attended. There's been a shift in Williams. Whatever was written in the note brought out a different side of Williams. It was a message that carried a weight that now rests on William's heart. But the story doesn't end here. Stay with us as we uncover more about the burden Prince William is quietly carrying. Prince William's struggles with royal pressure. Prince William, King Charles's eldest son, and the next in line to the throne, has been under growing pressure, not just from the demands of the crown, but from the weight of a private message left to him by his father. Beyond his royal title, William is a father of 3 lovely children and a husband to Catherine Middleton. And it hasn't been an easy ride trying to juggle his duties at home with the expectations of the monarchy. While William long made it clear that his family comes first, he didn't want his children to experience the same thing he faced as a child. Growing up, William often felt the absence of his father, who was constantly tied up with royal commitments. However, William and Catherine made a quiet promise to do things differently, putting their children before protocol whenever possible. But when King Charles was diagnosed with cancer, things changed quickly. Suddenly, William had to step up. The royal workload increased. The eyes on him multiplied, and so did the pressure. The demands of stepping up have also put William and Kate under scrutiny. Some insiders have criticized them, saying they aren't doing enough and that they continue to place their family above the monarchy. For instance, in 2024, after King Charles's cancer became public, Princess Catherine also revealed that she too had been diagnosed with cancer. She took a break from royal duties to focus on her health, and in a heartfelt move, Prince William took a break as well, to be with his wife. While many saw this as a deeply touching gesture, some royal members viewed it as a setback, a missed opportunity, and a delay at a time when William was expected to step into a stronger leadership role. Instead, he was tending to his family, giving them emotional support. And while William's choice touched the hearts of many around the world, it also raised questions. Could he truly balance duty and devotion? Prince William wasn't able to balance being a husband and also a future heir, as he was afraid of losing his wife to cancer, so he took a step back. King Charles supported his son's decision to spend time with Catherine. This was probably because he was battling his health challenges, and it would have seemed insensitive to demand that his son abandon his family to focus solely on the monarchy. William was heading toward burnout and emotional exhaustion, with the entire royal burden weighing on him. However, after Catherine's condition improved, William began to return to his regular duties, now focused on both the crown and his family. He resumed carrying out his royal responsibilities with greater energy. Catherine, on the other hand, has not been overwhelmed with duties, as her health still takes top priority. Prince William, however, remains under a significant amount of generational pressure ever since King Charles's health scare, and there has been increased attention on him. While Charles hasn't formally handed over his crown, he's continued to manage royal affairs from behind the scenes, from his sickbed. Meanwhile, William's workload has grown steadily, as he now helps his father with some of his duties. However, some who have worked closely with Prince William have described him as tough to work with and impatient at times. But this behavior isn't entirely new. King Charles has openly spoken about William's temper, which was sometimes explosive and reminded him of the late Princess Diana's fiery passion. Compared to William, King Charles is said to have more patience, which occasionally makes their interactions tense. While Charles has a temper, it tends to be short-lived and quickly forgotten. William's temper can, however, linger. When William flares up, he stays with him for a while. In his memoir, Spare, Prince Harry described William's temper, even accusing him of physically knocking him to the floor during a heated argument. These moments, while troubling, speak to William's intensity. Williams, like his grandfather Prince Philip, is known to push out anyone who stands in the way of progress. But to those around him, William's drive is for the good of the monarchy. William is also known for his strong sense of loyalty and protection. He works incredibly hard and won't let anyone tarnish the royal family's image. He's fought to build the respect he now commands and has distanced himself from anyone involved in the scandal, including Prince Andrew and even his brother Harry. When William becomes king, the monarchy is expected to take a new shape, one that reflects his vision. Insiders say that William's tenure won't be as stiff or overly formal as his father's. Instead, it will maintain the best of British tradition while embracing a modern, open-hearted approach. It will feel more accessible. Both William and Catherine are known for their emotional intelligence and their ease with people. They've always preferred connecting with citizens on a personal level, not just acting as ceremonial figures. William also plans to focus on meaningful projects, those that make a real impact, rather than simply attending ribbon cuttings or standing for pictures at events that don't move the needle. During Princess Diana's lifetime, Diana said she was raising a future king who would carry the monarchy into the 21st century. In many ways, William is continuing that dream, a quiet reboot of the monarchy, combining the best of his mother's compassion and his grandmother's strength. Whatever was written in the note from King Charles, one thing is certain: Prince William is prepared to become a great king, and perhaps a better one than his father ever was. And maybe, just maybe, Prince William is the version of royalty the modern world has been waiting for. What do you think King Charles might write to Prince William that will make him collapse? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.